All right, guys, welcome back. It's time for the Space Bro Show. That's right, the greatest podcast related to Star Citizen in the entire verse. Welcome. And we have extra hypo tonight because we're going to be talking about Gamescom Star Citizen presentation. Super awesome sauce. We're so excited about this. We've been rehashing it in our brains and live on some of our streams all night long. It's been really cool, and I'd like to immediately welcome my guests tonight, the mighty three here. We have Mr. Commander Shepard here with us again.
How's it going, guys?
There you go. And we have Mr. Eric McKetton joining us.
Hello.
There we go. And of course, Mr. Moonshiner's in the house. There it is. And you know me, I'm Mitauchi, and we are here to talk about Star Citizen, man. So fucking cool, man. It's so awesome today. I don't know. I don't even know what to say. I was hoping, like, we were all talking about it over this week. We're like, hey, maybe we can see some game mechanics. I don't know, maybe a cool ship. You know, we know the Tarkin's there.
A ship.
Yeah, and, you know, the first thing Eric said to me today when we started talking in Discord was like, well, too bad they didn't show us anything because, you know, we have nothing to talk about on the show now.
Right.
Holy shit.
It is unfortunate they didn't show us anything useful. From what I've read on Twitter, it's just a tech demo.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It's all staged.
Big letdown, vaporware. I'm like, holy crap, man.
Yeah, that was awesome. One of the greatest presentations ever.
Remember, guys, it's not rigged. It's prearranged.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. They brought
Jock Itch is such a dick. The guy with the beard is pretty handsome, but I won't tell which color. We all know he was talking about me,
There we
though.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, now if we combine my looks with Shepard's voice, man, we'd be slaying the ladies
There
and
you
the
go.
gentlemen.
Too much of all of it.
Yeah, yep.
Let's see here. All right, so let's get this thing started. We got a lot to go through. We talked it over. We're going to do the entire playthrough of just the gameplay demo. We're not going to do the Sandy and the whole thing and all that stuff. We already know what various people do with the video when I videotape Sandy on their blogs.
Yeah.
You know who I'm talking about. Anyway, so, yeah, we're going to get into that. First off, let's do a quick bullet point here. We're going to go down. We're going to talk about the highlights, which it's not all on the screen, which sucks, for the SE Alpha 3.0. So a brief overview of what we're looking that they're going to. And to be honest with you guys, there was a Gamescom or a PC Games video that came out right before the actual presentation, about 3 hours before, and it immediately got pulled. But me, Board Gamer, and some of the other guys watched this, and I watched it. It was about 11 minutes long, and it's back out now, I think. I think they re-released it. It was intended to be released after the presentation, and now I know why. Because they talked about 3.0 and how 3.0 might come out either this year or we wouldn't see cargo until 3.0, and immediately I'm like, no cargo till 3.0? My God, how far out's that? And all that stuff. Well, they pulled down the video, and now we've learned that 2.7 that we were anticipating for the end of the year has just been renamed. 2.7 is now 3.0.
That's right.
So
Yeah.
he just changed the label of it. So I was like, whoo, bullet dodge there, because I was a little concerned when I saw all this stuff. It's like, oh, so all the stuff that was coming in 2.7 is now in 3.0. I don't know. But anyway.
Which means more, right? It's
Yeah.
like, I mean, the big, you know, when you pop to like a 1.0 or 2.0, 2.0 was huge. It was the release of, you know, the multiplayer universe.
Absolutely.
When we just had Arena Commander and the Hangar.
Didn't we actually have this conversation a couple of episodes back, Mitachi, where we said the way they described 2.7, it sounds like it should be its own
build.
iteration?
Yeah, we did.
So
I think about 3 or 4 weeks ago, that's exactly what we said, because with all the stuff, we're like, wow, and this is just an iterative build. It's not a full level. Well, apparently they came to the same assumption there. So again, quickly.
That's because they watch us. They were like, yeah, those guys are right.
Those guys are right. Yeah. Absolutely. So they had
we called it actually a couple of weeks ago because we were discussing the grabby hands and the cargo thing, and said that the conclusion that we finally came to, we all sort of agreed, was that grabby hands probably would not be seen in the game until cargo was released.
Yeah, I'll even go a step further. Toy Grubbin was a little more right than me, because I even questioned whether they still even had grabby hands in the game, and we wouldn't know until we saw cargo. And the fact that they sat there and dropped the fact that grabby hands right in the demo that we're about to see anyway was employed. That's
I want to
cool.
be clear.
It's not grabby hands though.
That is not grabby hands. Exactly.
But he called it that,
hands.
right?
He calls it grabby hands, but that's not grabby hands.
Well, that's not the tech demo we saw. Yeah.
Nerdgasm confirmed.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that because, again, we also had this conversation at the same time where grabby hands just might not be practical. You know, it looks cool as a technology, but practical application, it just doesn't seem like it would be that practical.
Yeah.
And I'm much more happy. You know, it may not be, quote, as immersive, but what they showed tonight seems to be much smoother to me than what grabby hands was. Remember where the guy's hands were bending backwards and just picking up?
Well, and they were juggling and
stretching
stuff.
forever away. Like this, because you're grabbing onto something. Grabby hands was terrible.
Yeah, well, in the original tech demo, what they wanted it to do, they were showing them trying to juggle, reload guns, do all this detailed stuff, and it was almost like a VR type demo, what we see in some of the VR games that they have right now, like the mountain climbing and the sacking the groceries and all the stuff we see some of the other guys like gambling and that stuff playing. But yeah, I thought it was impractical even then. I was like, really? We got to get some other stuff in here still. So I was really surprised that Chris Roberts even used the terminology grabby hands, because I'm like, you really want to open that can of worms? Hopefully it doesn't bite him in the ass. And I'm happy with what they got. With changing out the use button, offering options that way, that's fine.
Right.
It really is.
I mean,
we still saw the use button a couple of times in that demo, though.
Yes.
Yeah.
But when you have like an object or a device that has multiple options to use it, that's like when your inner thought comes in. That's when you have multiple options. You know, if you were just, and again, he used the word like grabby hands as a way to like, grabby hands, because it's what the system used to be. It's all this inner thought thing. It's the thing that Mark showed weeks ago when he was getting inside of the Hornet.
Yep.
Because there's no point in me just like gingerly, pushing my hands over here and picking up a $5 bill. I'm sorry, I don't know, just something to pick up.
Yeah,
but you consciously make that choice. Someone said contextual.
What the difference is? Grabby hands was a tech demo, literally a tech demo of a procedural animation system. And what that means is, instead of them programming in various animations for various objects, the idea behind grabby hands was it would take the physical shape of the object you were interacting with and do its best to figure out how to maneuver your character's hands around it to pick it up and manipulate it.
Yeah,
what we saw today is not that. That's a different thing. Now, Chris calls it grabby hands, and I'm not sure if that was just like Moonshiner said as a way to reference, hey, remember when we showed you can move cargo? Now you can move cargo, or if because he doesn't realize that when we're talking about grabby hands, we were talking about that one brief 2-minute video we saw 2 years ago. But this is not grabby hands in what most people were picturing grabby hands, or what we saw. Yeah. But that doesn't mean it's a bad thing. In my opinion, I think it's a better thing than what grabby hands was.
Yes, I agree. But it also could lead into the fact that we might see something even more down the road related to the the hands and stuff. So maybe he just doesn't want to close that door yet, because
it could also be, and this is the first thing that popped in my mind when they first debuted grabby hands, was not that it'd be used on the fly, but that it would be used to generate those images. So instead of having an animator go in there and animate each animation for picking up a coffee mug or whatever, they would use grabby hands to do it, pick the one they like the best, and then save that animation. And that may be what we're looking at here, is that it is grabby hands generated these animations, but now they are canned.
It's true. That's very true. All right. So in addition to that, obviously, just a quick run over what we're going to see by the end of this year, according to their presentation. The expanding Stanton system, which will include ArcCorp, Hurston, Microtech, Crusader, Delmar, and new space stations, moons, and asteroid belts. So that's super cool.
Didn't he say 40 space stations?
He said 30 or 40 landing zones. Yep.
Jesus.
Landing zones, yeah, definitely. So that's going to be pretty cool. The extra asteroid belts would be cool. Maybe we'll even start to laying the foundations if cargo goes well for mining maybe earlier next year or something. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, all those professions, man.
The professions are just got me excited. Trading. I mean, trading. If it didn't have these other things like cargo to support it, you would think trading could be exactly what we've already seen, just some like in the wallet type maneuvering. But the fact they demonstrated and showed cargo during this, oh my god! I mean, physically moving objects, player to player trading. He even kind of mentioned in there. I was like, that's super exciting. So we'll see how much of that gets rolled out into 3.0. Piracy, mercenary, bounty hunting. That just how he describes them in the videos. amazeballs. I mean, just going down the list there. So steal the cargo, protect the cargo, get the guy back who stole the cargo to begin with. The perfect little triangle of
those all work hand in hand, man. Those are great. Those are good things to start off with.
And they offer so much immersive opportunity. Think of the videos, man. The videos are going to be epic. It's going to be so good. So I don't know that I don't know I could be more happy with the presentation, and to say that this is just version 1 of what we're going to show here, right? This is only version 1. This isn't the full deal. They got a version 2 they're going to show here in about 3 weeks that has a little bit more than, plus other stuff. So, we're looking October 9th, right, for CitizenCon? So that's going to be super cool. So let's go ahead and get in the video. We'll stop along the way on certain portions or whatnot if we need to. But we'll just kind of go a little bit over. And we'll have a link for the full video for anybody who hasn't seen it all and kind of go over it there. So, guys, again, also, if you have questions, we want to go ahead and get you linked up for that. The questions will be... Let me put it in the chat for you guys. Sorry. I usually have mods to do this, but, hey. That's okay.
I've seen your mods. I wouldn't rely on them.
Right there, guys. That is the Discord questions texting. So during the presentation, if you have those, we'll review them at the end of the show if we can. If we do catch something pertinent in there, just realize that it is delayed from us. So if you see something immediate, it might take a little bit of response to get there and all that stuff. But we'll get on there. Yeah, I see you. What mods? All right, let's dive into this real quick.
Okay. I wish I could
go over
make
to
the screen bigger.
The demo. So we're going to start. So we can bring the lights down, guys. All right. I'm going to go back here with the boys, so I won't block the screen for you guys.
Waking up.
There we go. There we go. All right. So we're going to start here.
And for those of you wondering, when you hear what sounds like a drunk girl yelling in the background in these presentations, that was Test Gaming Zone Supreme Tokyo.
Yes, Supreme Tokyo is the one that sounds like a girl out in the audience. It's great.
All right, so let's get out of bed, Glenn.
Because Eric doesn't have any hair at Blackbird. That's how he doesn't have gray hair.
Hey, you already saw this.
It fell out before it could change color.
Although he's been eating Benny's noodles, it looks like down there. Yeah. Well, it looks like we've got a little video. Someone sent us a video message. So let's go see what that is.
Okay.
I was happy that they did this live.
Hey, how are you?
Yeah, look at this.
Friend over Crusader.
And still there are people saying that it was a pre-rendered thing. Even with all the mistakes and all that, it's pre-rendered. There's people that say that.
If you're interested in picking up some extra work, we should talk. I'll send my details.
Amazeballs.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the fidelity of even if you're getting that kind of video quality on single missions,
like we got a new mission,
awesome.
And this is a nobody one-off character.
So we'd have to go to Lasky to find out about it.
Yeah.
So let's go to our
That's some
mission
guy
manager.
that you'll see maybe once or twice throughout your entire life in Star Citizen.
All right.
Unless, of course, he's a pirate or mercenary of some repute.
Or it might be the last thing you see based on the end.
All right. So
Yeah,
let's
right.
check that.
But something to think about how that mission played out for those that have already seen it. I'm not going to spoil it for you if you haven't seen it yet. But the segments of this mission that you see were probably scripted to go in that sequence for this particular presentation. But in the future, part of the idea behind their mission system is that there will be different potential branches from each one of these missions, that they will also be somewhat procedurally generated. So you can get the initial mission and you go out and you do whatever the initial goal is, and there could be 2 or 3 options that spawn off from that based on a random generation or based on how you do the mission, and then 2 or 3 options that spawn off of that. So the way this mission ended today could be completely different from the way it ends for you in game your first time playing it.
Yeah, it's like a choose your own adventure book, just in
luckily
more
Glenn
simple terms. I mean,
so
your
he
path
doesn't need to
can be
get
chosen
changed.
through your course in the mission.
Pew Pew Gaming, this is an internal build of the Persistent Universe version 3.0 that's due to be released by the end of the year.
Chris there, waiting for us.
So we're
on
talking
the
less than 4 months. You'll be in this type of game.
landing pad.
Yep.
Yep.
Knock on wood, fingers crossed.
End of the year.
Toss some salt over your shoulder.
Absolutely.
Sacrifice a lamb to Odin and all that stuff.
All right,
Yeah.
okay, guys.
While they're getting this stuff loaded up, I'd also like to address one thing I saw that was mentioned over in Shepard's chat earlier this evening. There was somebody asking why they didn't have the streamers do this. Well, you have to realize two things. First off, they don't want to leak it out to the streamers that came out to Gamescom, right? Because it's too easy where just even a buddy, unintentionally, you share some of what you're doing. Secondly, these guys actually do rehearse this. They have to, because they kind of have to have an idea of what they're going to go do. I mean, it's still, you have some gameplay things that happen and all that stuff, but they do practice it so they at least know what they're going to show.
Come on, there you go.
Yeah, it's not pre-recorded, but it is scripted.
Correct.
Right, and they practice this multiple times. I was actually talking to somebody from CIG today about it, and they've gone through several times practicing this. Did you notice back there, if you rewind it when he first gets into the freelancer?
There it is.
Right here?
That HUD, though.
We'll go back here.
When he first gets in the freelancer,
there we go.
notice that another use button pops up when he first looks at the screen across from the door, from the airlock. The use will go away when he walks in, and then it pops back up as he looks at the screen.
Yeah, it'll pop up here and say, have you noticed throughout, like even the back door, right now you have to go select the door to open it. Now they have panels for the doors.
Right.
So you don't have to be against the door to open them.
But here it comes right here. He walks in, the door opens, the use button disappears, then he looks at that screen, and the use button reappears, and he quickly turns away, like, oh shit, we're not supposed to show that.
Yep.
Well, exciting though.
Yeah, the whole console over there is actually operational.
Yep.
All right. Okay, let's get in our co-pilot seat.
Now, it could be that it was just the use button for the door just happens to, you walk back into the bounding box.
Right.
But the fact that when he turns, it disappears and then reappears leads me to believe that it is a separate use interaction button.
Yeah.
That HUD, though.
Yeah, the HUD's amazing.
Okay, let's just head
But yeah,
out.
in terms of playing this, they've been practicing this for a while now.
Yeah.
And basically with every press demo, they've been doing this over and over again every day, multiple times a day for press demos. And one of the cool things about this one is that it went off script in several places from what the press got to see.
Well,
and
Chris is really good about making sure it goes off script too. If you remember
the lighting on Port Olisar on that station, you see it when you do the flyby?
Yeah,
it's
really
lit up underneath those huge tanks and lit up the name of the station. It looks really good.
Absolutely.
All right, back, switch. Okay, all right. Now let's go back and let's switch from our radar to.
Oh my God!
I love that. I love that.
I know. This one. Of course, this is going to look better. I'm like, what do you? It doesn't need to look better. That's exactly what I want from a star map. I don't need all the colors. I don't need it to look like the one in the game.
It doesn't matter. I guarantee he's already apologizing.
I want the colors.
Yeah, he's already apologizing for it. He's like, it will get higher fidelity. Don't worry. And I'm like, I know it will, Chris. It's good.
But some of us don't want higher fidelity. Stop. Every once in a while, you just got to tell them stop. It's good enough.
So you're going to
Stop.
use your map for that. Obviously we're by
I like that you can,
if we zoom into
what he's doing right here, where you can zoom in on the planet and then see the moons and
all the comma rays that we're all kind of like used to right there.
Yep.
And double clicking the plot of path. That's pretty sweet too.
Yep.
And it's going to be much snazzier and better than this. It's sort of a work in program.
So much better than like looking around, you're spinning the ship to like find comma rate 275. That's right there. So awesome.
Yeah, that whole heads-up display is sweet. The way it curves around like that.
Yes.
Yeah, I like the way it traces the bottom of the windshield. The windshield, the canopy. The
Oh
canopy.
yeah, with all the velocity and everything. That's a real good use of space, and it still leaves the window open up enough.
Hey, Eric McKetton, the fly master of the group, I think. Did you notice that they have the thruster velocities, the maneuvering thruster velocities integrated to the HUD now?
Well, they technically thrust velocity is
No, not your forward momentum, not the main engines, not your speed.
Right.
They have a separate thing that shows how much thrust the thrusters are putting out.
That has actually always been on there. If you look at below your velocity ladder, below to the left of your velocity ladder, it just says THR, and that is your thrust in newtons, and that's what you're seeing there. And it is your total thrust. It's just now it's in a place where you can actually know what it means.
Well, originally
and that's actually how we used to calculate whether or not before we had access to the XMLs, whether or not the ships were performing as they told us they were performing, is we'd look at the newtons there, output compared to the ship's mass and whatnot, and that's how we first kind of caught them on they're fudging numbers early on in builds, and they had to go back and fix it.
By the way, 2.5J that just dropped today, my Hornet Ghost flies like my
As
saber.
long as you don't hurt someone else, you can do whatever you want. So
it's that maneuver.
Interesting. I wonder what they did to it. I read about
it's exactly what you're talking about. They play with the thruster output.
Here we go. Here comes the sexy time with
we'll
the
just
planet.
get a bit closer.
well, here's what's that called? Horizons.
And so in 3.0,
that's
we're
customs.
demonstrating every planet, every moon.
It's the integration checkpoint.
Will be fully done, rendered, physicalized. You can land on any part of
it.
it.
We saw that
walk
thing
all the way around it if
2
you
years
want.
ago. We
You've
saw
got,
that station.
months
And,
to do that because they're quite large.
And we're like, well, what is that thing? Why is it off in the corner? Why can't we see what it is? And finally, it makes it in game.
If you look at the curvature, so we don't have any.
But I'm wondering if there is. It looks like you should be able to land or dock with that thing.
The horizon line
Well,
is
he
the
said
actual
he said that you'll
real
be able to
horizon
land and
line.
walk
So the guys
around
in
all
Frankfurt
these
that are doing
places.
this, the engine team.
But so if that's
they
custom,
showed
what
old
happens
videos.
if I try to land or if I just try to bypass that? I wonder if Crusader security comes after me.
They're pretty genius.
Well, do they have customs? This is an outpost that doesn't like UEE. Do they want
Well,
to
they might have
be?
their own internal customs.
Yeah, they have their own, but the thing is that he had to go through the ring in order to get the nav point on the surface. Where he's going.
So in theory, though,
There it is. There it is.
probably
There it is.
bypass that.
No, don't talk about it.
Look at that.
There it is. Don't even pause it. Just let it go. It's like a full 10 seconds of this. Oh, it's glorious.
So good.
Oh, the buffering. God, the buffering. Make it stop.
So pretty.
Well, apparently the
and
video
as
is
we
pretty
get down
loud.
to the atmosphere, it switches to a
Mitauchi.
more atmospheric flight model.
What's that?
So there is drag.
Apparently the
there
video's
is some,
loud.
He can't hear you.
Small amount of
okay.
sort of lift,
you
sort
can't
of
hear over the video.
aerodynamic modeling. So if you have
I have it all under halfway too. This is a loud video.
So here we are. At anywhere on.
Chris is
Belmar,
yelling pretty
we
much,
could
isn't he,
land,
though?
Get out and walk.
Yeah.
So as
It's
we
okay.
fly down here, perhaps.
We got it down
Chris,
now.
we
That should be better,
demonstrate
guys.
the
Let me
flying
know
get
if
out
that's still
somewhere.
too loud
Check out
or if
those-
you can't hear it. Let me know.
Check out those maneuvering thrusters on the exterior of the Freelancer going
Yeah,
to work,
especially on
keeping
the
it
bottom.
level.
Yeah, making sure that it stays level and does what it needs to do.
Yeah, and I could tell just from the experience piloting this game by the way his whole flight style changed when he entered. That there is already atmospheric physics at play. That ship is obviously handling different from when a Freelancer normally handles, and he's fighting it a lot. So it's going to be interesting to see how that
And then maybe do picture-in-picture.
plays out.
I'm so
Yeah,
anxious.
Dynamic.
But if a Freelancer handles like this, I can't wait to see what my Terrapin's going to fly like.
It just drops.
Shit.
Armor's 4, so you can just let it slam into the
And
ground.
then let's go
Yeah.
to Glenn's view.
This is a
Jared.
quasi aerodynamic ship.
There we go.
Yeah, I can't wait.
beauty. And like put out.
All the thrusters.
I
And
really
this
want to
is-
fight people in the atmosphere.
This is a small thing for most people, but it's a big thing for me. There is no parallax, what is it called? Parallax occlusion going on right now, which right now, if you land on the asteroids, you'll get that weird mirroring effect. That's not
Yep.
happening here. So
Yeah,
they've
that
gotten rid
happens
of
on the
that.
surface. Yeah.
Yeah, they've gotten rid of that finally. It's the same texture as the asteroid textures, but it's not doing that weird occlusion thing.
Well, those are just like different layers on top of
Yeah.
each other. From a distance, they look
Alright,
beautiful.
so this is gonna be a
Once you get up
challenge.
and close, it's
See,
not
we
so
did land
pretty.
everywhere. Let's see if we can
The
jump
asteroids in
up
this look a lot
enough.
better, though.
Let's see. Jump,
Everything looks better.
jump,
Yeah.
Alright,
That's the other thing is
okay,
every time
this is
they
gonna
release a
have
new
to
build,
be
it's like, oh, by the way, we've improved the fidelity by 100% again.
Yeah. Eventually, I'm just going to go to sleep and with a visor on and wake up in the game because that's where they're going.
No,
Yeah.
Ready Player One.
This is great right here.
I've still got to read that book.
Such a good book. Any gamer.
Is it a long read?
No, it's like 275 pages.
Really? It's a short book.
Yep.
I love it when he laughs at the other guy because he can't land the ship.
Yeah. If it's in an audiobook format, maybe I'll grab it like that.
Let's see if you can.
It's read by Will Wheaton.
Hey.
Oh, look at this shit.
I Will Wheaton.
Will Wheaton.
Okay, well that was unscripted.
Yeah, Toy. They do need to set up so that the bay door should automatically drop down to the level of the landing gear. Which, if you notice, when he was landing there, they weren't. They're a little bit higher than the landing gear.
I think the terrain was just there was like a divot there where the tailgate would drop.
He's just parked on top of a little hill. And...
Yeah, a little bulb. Can't believe there's only 20 chaff and flares on this thing, though. Sorry, that's the little things I noticed immediately. They reduced it to 20 each. Are they out of their minds?
So, switch it, Jared. No, point of view, Jared.
Red one.
Jared.
Red one.
Jared.
All right, so now we can either request...
That's cool, though. Remember, do you guys remember how they would not... Originally, it was not possible for CryEngine to play videos within on another screen. Yeah, and that was something that they were hoping to fix. And now it's just a part of everyday life in Star Citizen already.
Yeah, I iterated this repeatedly at the beginning of my stream tonight before I even got into the Gamescom presentation. And even after I got into the Gamescom presentation, I went over it and over it. They're not even done.
No,
it's not even close to done.
Yeah.
But this is pretty much the promise of Star Citizen from all the way back to the Kickstarter pitch. Mm-hmm. In one hour-long demo, they showed just about everything that they promised us.
Right. And it's not even done. And it looks like this, and it's not even... Fuck. Drop the mic.
Yeah. Assuming they get those game mechanics they have in for 3.0, like they say, we will be basically one game mechanic away from being, what's considered an alpha stage feature complete. And that's all the base gameplay features in.
Yeah, we get the... What are we still missing? We need the FPS
mining.
Mechanics. We need mining.
Well, yeah, I'm talking about based on what they say is going to be in 2.6 and 3.0. We basically all we need left is mining for them to be considered the Kickstarter feature complete. Then it's just a matter of putting in all the content.
What about the job well?
That's
promised in the Kickstarter?
I don't know. I don't know if job well was ever a specific thing. It was just that you would have missions, and we already have the missions and the mission generator. Now that doesn't mean that they would be beta. No, not even remotely close.
Yeah.
But it would be the base features that were promised would all be in once mining was added in after that. Assuming everything else.
I also wonder if they're turning some of the job well type mechanics into like what Tony Z was talking about with the AI database, where you could select different crew members and stuff. Because that was really similar operation to like with the job where we could look through different contracts.
Oh, and that's right. That's the other thing that needs to be in is the subsumption AI needs to be functioning. So mining and the AI.
Yeah. But it looks like they're on their way to that. I mean, when they did the walkthrough here in the Grandara market or whatever it was, there's the triggers popped and the NPCs were like hawking their wares. And
Yep.
Look at that lighting, Mitauchi.
Right.
I will admit I love the lighting. I can't deny it. It's undeniably sexy. I just hate how much time they talk about it.
There's several places though where I think it's still too bright. So, but I'm waiting for them to like do a balancing pass on the lighting.
Yeah.
Out in space, the star reflecting off the solar panels on such and such a ray, and it's like blinding. That I agree with. But when you shoot your pirate ship with ballistic weapons and the sparks coming off of it are so bright that you lose sight of the ship, that I don't agree with.
Well, you don't notice that. You don't notice a lot of that in here. I mean, a lot of the bloom effects that we're seeing in game haven't really shown in this presentation. Like he's looking up at lamps and stuff like that, and it's not doing the.
Yep.
I hate bloom.
I can tell you one thing I don't like about the new type of use button replacement. I don't think we need the animated lettering. I don't get the like flow through like it's like. Woo, we will. I mean,
in your brain. I kind of.
It's not a Twitch alert, people. Come on.
Yeah.
Pyromancer, how could you have doubts that people were controlling this live? They screwed up several times. If that doesn't say we're doing this live, I don't know what else.
I get what he's saying, because if you look at some of the EA demos and stuff they've done in the past, they actually rehearse mess ups. Like, oh my God, Joe, but they're terrible actors. Yeah. But okay, Chris Roberts is not a good actor, and nobody can like pull up the ad hoc like him. So that's the same thing I've said in several posts about Sandy. I love Sandy. She's not the greatest actress, so that way when people say she's like faking this and that and doing something like she's not. I know.
Sandy's a good actress.
She's a beautiful person and great marketing director, and I love her, but she's not a great actress. So.
But I know a lot of people say it because of how smooth the camera is, but that's because they were using a gamepad, and everybody uses gamepads for live demos because it smooths the camera out.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you also notice, like, they've, if you're playing 2.5, that they've gotten rid of the head bob when you're running around.
Well, the head bob still exists. The eyes now lock like your eyes really would. So in real life, your head bobs, but your eyes compensate for it.
Right.
And that wasn't happening. Now the eyes actually compensate, because that's where the camera is. The camera is actually in your eyes, as opposed to just a floating thing.
Because you can see on your HUD rattle around, but the overall field stays natural, like what it's supposed to when you're running.
Yeah. But yeah, they do the gamepad and the motion blur specifically because it smooths everything out, and for people watching on streams, as well as for people that aren't in-depth gamers, it makes more. It's better to do it that way. Because if you had somebody like Mitauchi doing this right now with mouse and keyboard, people that aren't used to playing these games would be getting motion sick. Yeah. Because he'd be sprinting, he'd be looking left, like, oh look, there's a light over there. Oh look, there's a sign up there.
Yeah. It's the same reason why you see people like me and stuff will disable motion blur, because when you're losing frames when they're testing live, it makes it worse. But if you have that higher resolution and that smoother frame rate, you can have those type of aspects in there, and it works well.
They also showed this off, like, I don't know if you guys saw like some of the photos that kind of came out from the white room in the back. So they kind of showed this off to like other people. So I mean, if it was on rails,
that was weird, man. That was a press room.
They're showing people live.
Yep.
Yeah, those same four people were doing it several times a day, every day this week for all sorts of press agencies.
Yep. Because they always show it to press. They do it just like every other game. They show it to press first. Press is supposed to hold it. Then they release their versions of what they saw after the announcement. So imagine next couple of days we'll see a very polished, non-narrated version of this that you'll be able to see. But I like the unscripted.
I'm thinking CIG is going to probably put out a version of the presentation video without the Chris Roberts audio in it.
Yeah, they always do that.
That'll be part of the media one that they have, their version.
Brimstone, you'll always see in just about every gameplay demo of any game at a convention and things like that, they use gamepads because of how stable it keeps the view area, and that's so that everybody can watch it and appreciate the grandeur and all that. And most game developers do that. And then, of course, the PC people like me, we immediately bitch about them using a gamepad, not showing us the real gameplay, because a gamepad is not indicative of it.
But every developer for every type of game that will PC or console that supports the game, you'll see them using fucking Xbox controllers. It's just a natural thing. I've never seen a game developed for any platform that's not using like a gamepad.
Even when they first demoed the new Doom, they played the console version originally, even though the PC version was so much better because of how smooth the movement was. And everybody's complaint was that game is too slow to be Doom. Well, it's because they were playing it in consoleized. And I was one of those complaining about it. I was like, I'm not buying this damn game. That's not Doom. Yeah. And then, it came out, and I was like, oh, it is Doom.
I have to say, I really like the aesthetics of what they did here with the entire environment. It's really cool. It makes me want to go back here and check out all this.
Yep.
It has a very Mass Effect vibe to it, doesn't it?
Yes, it
does.
Like
Mass Effect meets Deus Ex.
Yep.
And a little bit of a Fallout thing with the hanging lights and all that.
So we'll keep going. So the consumption isn't in here yet, but with that in, we'll see people moving around, doing things, coming and going, have a lot more life. But
I like how Chris had to tell him to move on from this. Like the guy was getting ready to go in there and talk to him or something. Chris is like, no, just keep going. They don't do anything.
Yeah. Tell your friends.
Total Recall, Nadius, very much.
Yeah,
that's a good point. This looks like Total Recall.
Yep.
Yeah.
100%, buddy. So let's just head up here. 100%.
Cafe
I like the almost but legally distinct from Punisher T-shirts that they have for sale.
Yeah, right.
Absolutely.
Timothos VR is and always has been planned, but it is not a primary focus. So eventually, yes, they will optimize for VR, but that's a long ways away because it's way too small of a market for them to focus on it right now, especially because they'd have to refocus on it with every new patch.
Yeah.
Damn that lighting, though.
They really got to bump up them frames.
Yeah.
To make it playable.
Yeah, you can't go like under 60 frames and have VR that's fun.
No. I was up.
Yeah, or you'll have a seizure.
Sorry for the locale.
Look at this dude.
I know. Now, everybody take a close look because everybody keeps debating that this is modeled after one of the CIG employees, and I can't figure out who it might be.
Kind of looks like one of the guys who we've seen on camera before.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Should be a romper job.
What I keep wanting to look at is where his eyes are looking, because they keep looking off to the left and right. I wish the guy would look over his shoulder and see if there's something going on behind him.
He does in the second part.
He's making eye contact with his backup.
That's what it looks like to me too. Like he's checking out, making sure he's got people watching the whole situation.
By the way, smartwatch is confirmed.
I think that's just a Moby Glass.
It probably is.
Yeah.
It's
new.
You're right, Pat Rath. It's me.
But I like the gesture that he does, where he just he taps his watch. If you can see me in the camera, he taps his watch, and then he goes like this.
Yeah.
And just sort of flings it at him. Like, here you go. Here's your data.
Well, I like how also every interaction he does with the guy, he's kind of looking through there, seeing who's watching, what he's doing. You know, he's very shifty. And that's why I explain a lot of the eyes. He's shifty because right now he's just neutral, looking ahead, waiting for your response. But, yeah.
It is kind of weird that he's frozen now after all that animation, though. Now he's just like staring.
Right. I was just thinking it should be. You kind of lose the immersion if the guy pauses just because you're looking at your Moby Glass.
And all the other characters you see off the right are still doing their little animations and how they're operating stuff.
And he's just like, make a decision now.
Great.
Tap, tap, tap. Flip.
Yep.
Let me know once you have the black
box data. I'd love to see if the Moby Glass has that what would you call that, like a subdued mode where it won't pop up and you could actually give it input like that. So you wouldn't always have the hologram come up like to reveal your position and stuff. So that'd be cool, like a subversive
that would be
mode.
Like, I would love to have that with like the Roxio or whatever that, or what's that thing called? The Rocat Power Grid.
Yeah.
Yep.
I would love to have a Rocat tablet set up that's basically your Moby Glass, so it doesn't pop up on your screen. Like you said, I can just reach over to my tablet and tap on it there.
I believe that type of stuff's coming. There's already been a couple people outside of it CIG that made it, and once it was mentioned to CIG, they said, yeah, we have something that we're looking at doing like that. So
Brimstone, the guy in red, is the Moonshiners. He is
Shield confirmed.
He's also a relatively new Star Citizen streamer, but has been streaming the hell out of it, like Commander Shepard. And I'm Eric McKetton. I've been playing and streaming Star Citizen since it launched.
Sorry, guys, I don't have your names on this page. I have it all on the other page because there wasn't a lot of room. But if you're interested in who's in chat, we do have a command, guys, and it's right here. It's ! Space Bros, so you can get the links for all the cast.
But yeah, I was about to say you should definitely follow Shepard and Moonshiners, but I guess you already are following Shepard because you know who he is.
Don't forget to hit me. Give me them follows.
Why didn't
and Moonshiners?
They're all stacked together.
You don't have to watch him, but you should follow him. That makes him feel like people are watching him.
Basically.
Streams of all our cast members. It did Shepard. It didn't do that. Hang on, I'll fix it. It's probably because I spaced each line out.
What a jerk!
I know.
Like watch all of our cast members.
Yeah,
just this one guy.
Shepard.
Just McKetton and Shepard.
Oh yeah, your name hasn't popped up once yet.
Why hasn't it popped? That's so weird.
I'm gonna start pimping myself.
I swear you're on there. I swear.
I don't see it.
I'm working on it. It's on.
Not like I'm here like every week. Mitauchi, come on, brother.
I know. And I still can't find that audio where that's at somewhere. My Twitch alerts just went off.
This show is about as quality as an SC presentation. That's one of your mods right there, too.
Well, as long as they don't start comparing it to Perverse to Verse, we're okay.
Now we need to just mute the feed for 5.5 minutes.
Why? What's coming up next?
Oh, no. Then it would be like an SC presentation.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, just mute the audio entirely.
I was screaming at Zeus and Oxia in a whisper today when the Gamescom presentation started. I'm like, dude, seriously? He was like, Twerk17's running backstage right now.
Alright, let's just check our mission.
Yeah, apparently Twerk saved the day on the audio.
The mission scheduler.
Good for Twerk, man. I'm glad.
Thank you, Twerk.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you, Twerk.
So we're locating star figure 8, create the black box. Okay.
There's so much sound spam. No sounds. No sounds.
I know. And everybody's just ignoring
I was
it.
at it too. Yeah.
You left us.
Yeah.
There we go.
There we go. There it is.
I knew I had it stacked. Everybody's links right there.
I'll be right back, guys.
And just so you know, while we're going through this part, there will be a $10 Star Citizen gift card given away. You will have to make sure you're a follower of all the streamers. I've put that in chat a couple times. Also, we're doing our $50 subscriber Star Citizen card giveaway tonight for all our subs, and you can still subscribe and become part of that. And then we do a second $50 one at the end of the month. So.
To make sure that in case we get attacked, we'll have.
Rock Kelly, if you're unaware, Twerk's on every morning, or nearly every morning at 6 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time.
We'll switch to it later.
Yep.
Okay, so we'll pull out here.
Another
You see, they got the new laser cannons on here.
Indeed.
Man, I love.
Did you see the new animations coming off those bearing cannons?
The green little dust.
Yeah, it's like this expelled gas kind of thing coming out of the chamber. That was cool.
So good. Love it. Love it.
It's so good. Definitely. All right, I've got to find that.
Oh, that's so bizarre. I got my bot still on, and my Twitch alerts and everything still up, and I just heard somebody follow my channel. Whoever you are, thanks very much.
You're going to hear it a lot because they got to follow. I make sure everybody follows all the cast members' channels in order to qualify for the
07, guys. Thanks very much for the follows.
4 different landing pads, the various sort of mining towers.
We love you all.
And again, like I said, this is all seamless. We're
Yeah,
streaming out. There's no loading screens. There's no.
Number one, make it so.
Yep. So good, man. Look at this.
Again, you can sort of see the scale and
you know what I'm gonna do the first time I go to a planet?
Oh, no.
I'm gonna jump out the back of the ship.
I was thinking the same thing.
I just want to see if that atmosphere burns me up. I really do.
Genius.
I just have to.
Let's see, we cleared the atmosphere now.
I know it will.
Yeah, at what point do you hit terminal velocity?
Is it instant death, or do you just kind of go fried Mitauchi? That'd be cool.
I think he'd burn up pretty quickly, yeah.
You would think so.
So Zealous, Gerald Lopez, Liblixa, and the Brock Kelly. Thanks for the follows, guys.
Well, the truth is, the science, would burn you up. We'll actually do it with a game physics allow it to happen because there's not actually oxygen. I'll say.
Clutch, I'm sure you're a gentleman, but I'm gonna call you a liar, bro. It says he hasn't won a raffle ever.
What's that?
Clutch is King Clutch is a newer member of my channel, and he says he's never won a raffle ever. He's won 2 raffles recently. So.
Don't worry about it, King Clutch. I'm right there with you, buddy. I didn't win anything. I've never won anything.
I've never won anything either.
Is there a raffle going on right now?
I didn't.
Yo, I won
didn't
the
win.
Phoenix.
We're gonna be. We're not running it until the questions start.
I didn't win an Anvil Hornet game package live in Gamescom stream. I forgot.
Yep.
Couple of pirates.
Look at them asteroids.
Lumavox is gonna order some fried Mitauchi first time he goes to planet. You can tell Chris Roberts has never actually fired the turret because he starts jarring the guy about, are you gonna kill him?
Yeah. You tried, dude.
Yeah, the turrets are terrible. They look cool.
I gotta say, I got with one of my mods, Jukesasaurus Rex. Hail the Jukes, right? The man who brought us the whole juice box meme for my channel. God bless him. And he just helped me out with Track IR yesterday.
Sorry about that, guys. That was my bad.
With the workaround, track IR for turrets confirmed. Oh yeah, all the goodness. Because you move your mouse a little bit, but then you can just look around and point the reticle with the guns.
That's pretty.
It works. It works awesome.
Come on, guys.
He's like, come on, shoot it.
Pistol. Alright. Okay, he said the freelancer didn't kick some ass. And by the way, I don't know if you've noticed it, but the music's been sort of changing dynamically, so...
Mike with the typing.
To the first version of our
Going crazy.
That's how a writer types.
Yeah, man.
So I think
120 to 140 words per minute.
The 2.6 patch, but it'll definitely be in 3.0. So here we are. We're coming towards the Starfarer.
Brimstone, I'm pretty sure that they're supposed to have target selection. It's just whether or not it's bugged right now.
Or whether or not he bothered to engage it.
Yep. All those.
Alright. Okay, so let's get in the back.
The Ursa rover takes every inch of the Aquila Bay.
Open the back door.
It's got to, yeah. It has to. It's too damn big. I'm surprised it can fit in there at all. They might make a special bay for it.
I thought it would take up like 2/3 to 3/4 of the space and leave you with a little bit of cargo room.
Not from what the images we saw.
You think maybe like it drops down like a little bit?
It
It's
could.
real low.
It looks like the wheels could shift when we get to that part.
They do shift when it's flying. I mean,
yeah, so maybe
you
it
guys
has
will
that like
see.
a landing mode, like a deployed and a cargo mode, like the Dragonflies do.
One sort
Yep.
of operation on 4 FPS EVA space flight.
Chop Suey, there you go, buddy.
This looks so good.
What's with the stuttering and buffering going on?
With what?
Oh, it's been that way for me the whole time. It's horrible. I think it's because there's probably about 58,000 people watching this video right now, and YouTube can't take it.
Outside, let's start EVAing. Okay, back to Glenn.
King Clutch is leaving. He won a heist and roulette. He's getting away while he can.
Let's look for a way in to the Starfarer.
All right.
Turn this part up a little bit more. It's pretty cool. Not too loud though. I love the imagery of how the Starfarer is broken up back here as they move to the back end of it. Looks so cool.
Sorry, Toy.
Pretty catastrophic damage.
Mook Monster, the Dragonfly isn't actually on sale by itself. It's just a poster for the same price that the ship was.
No. You can buy the Dragonfly right now, but you just can't buy it solo. You can buy it as part of one of the exploration packages.
Yeah, you can't buy it by itself. But there's a poster of the Dragonfly for sale for the same price that the Dragonfly itself.
So if you got $500 and you really want it bad,
I think you can get it for like the
$550 spent today, confirmed.
Yeah,
right here. Yeah, I got the exploration LTI package, and I bought an Ursa rover.
There we go.
So I know what happened up here. Why it went so wonky. Because in the past, when they've done these live demonstrations, they've always accidentally died easily, from other things. Yeah. So they cranked up the health on these characters. And on top of that, these characters also wearing the heavy armor. So the guy's taking like 3 magazines to kill one guy. Everybody's like,
that was just a medium there. Because that was the one Red Eyes, I think.
Well, he died easily. The guy with the shotgun later on.
Yeah, that one was rough.
To kill him.
Yeah.
Yo, look at this.
And they're actual
freeze-dried, man.
I know. I would propose that they're obviously players, right? Because they don't have the AI up to that degree.
Right. That's the other 2 players. What were their names? Melissa and what was the other guy's name?
I can't remember his name, but yeah, they did a great job.
I wanted to see them shoot the frozen bodies and see if they moved around from that.
If they chip.
Or I just wanted to see if the physics reacted like to
they slightly
impact.
Move. They're kind of ragdolly when he pushes them.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I meant from the guns hitting them.
Oh, I'm sure they would.
Yeah.
All the other floaty objects do.
Well, that's the kind of things that we always, we try to test in the PTUs because it's amazing how sometimes those things get overlooked.
What's this guy's name? Whose face is this belong to?
Kyle.
Grass Natives Maximus.
Kyle. Thanks, Kyle.
Yeah, thanks Kyle.
Shoot him in the face. Shoot him in the face. I also want that. I want that uniform he's wearing. I kind of like the colors of their uniform.
Necro. He just wants to keep it.
Yeah, I like this right here. I want to build one of these, man. PC right into the desk.
That's awesome.
Until it's time to upgrade. And it's like, why the hell did I...
The thing I also was curious about is, like, you see as they move forward here, like, the varying bits of cargo sometimes floating around. I wonder if you could take that. Or if it's just, like, certain pieces you can take and certain pieces are animation props.
Possible security job we have.
Well, I'm guessing it's probably a lot like the
I'm really liking the polish on that on that Moby glass, though, right?
Yeah.
It looks
really
much cleaner.
The fact that it shapes itself to your individual helmet's design, I love that.
Yep.
This is awesome.
See right there, this is where he's shifty about it. He's like, hey.
I'm just gonna throw this out.
Yeah, this is where I call for backup and say, sure, I'll go check it out. And I call up six or 10 of my wingmates.
Yeah.
Hey, guys, meet me at this location.
And that's why there's those mercenary jobs, because that's what Mitauchi will be doing. He will be that guy waiting for somebody to call him up and say, hey, come help me out.
Yep.
Yep. Or the security
Here's a silly
jobs,
question.
like,
if you
like
belong
me.
to an org that doesn't allow you to steal stuff, to be a criminal, do you take this mission?
Exactly.
Well, it's not stealing.
Yeah, at this point, it's abandoned cargo. That would be salvage.
That's right.
Under maritime law, that would be salvage. So I'm assuming in space law, it'd be the same.
Yeah. And under the other elements, you also have to consider, like, what happens if a player tries to interrupt your mission? Can he find you when you're doing your mission? What happens to the same thing like we have at the Comrades? Somebody else, you're there, you're trying to do a mission, somebody else comes down just to snatch your cargo. I mean, there's all kinds of elements that could get involved even on a mission
I
level.
don't think this is monitored space right here, so there's a simple answer.
Okay, let's do
Yep,
it.
It's that old adage, if a tree falls in the woods and nobody's around to hear it because they're making a noise.
It's like Cyberwolf said there. He's like, you can't steal from thieves.
All right, well, let's
If a douchebag gets shot up on an unknown planet, did it really happen?
Yeah, if you kill a thief in unmonitored space, does it really matter?
Yeah, you're reclaiming stolen cargo from outlaws.
Yep, that's what we call reclamation services.
Yeah, well,
in
I was
the
talking
military, we
about
call that
Mitauchi's
repurposing.
example, though. Yeah, repurposing.
Yep.
I was talking about Mitauchi's example, though, where you go to do the comm array and you've got cargo on your ship and somebody tries to steal your cargo while the comm array is still turned off. Well, you just shoot the bastard and move on.
Shepard knows this because he was Army as well, but we used to have a saying in the Army, there's only one thief in the Army. Everybody else is just trying to get their stuff back.
Yep.
Yep.
That's right.
We're just repurposing it.
Right here. That's good.
Here's a question: do you think this will carry on? Kind of like, you know how like we had the destroyed Idris. Is this like a set piece in the universe, or is this like something that can happen to any Starfarer?
It's something that can probably happen to any Starfarer. It looks like
at this stage of what they're showing us, I think of what they're showing us is a set piece. But I think the goal is to make this be able to happen to any Starfarer.
Exactly.
Yep.
I would be willing to bet that the set piece we are seeing right now is a way that they've already cut up the Starfarer to explode in certain scenarios of being destroyed.
Yeah.
So that's possible. Right now, there's the issue of they have to despawn the ships because they take up too many resources with the
Night Owl
and all that. So, but in the future, when they won't need to do that, and I think we'll start to see these things become persistent for at least a time afterwards. Like I take out Shepard's Starfarer, he abandons it or dies or whatever. It's going to sit there for quite some time before it despawns on its own to give people a chance to salvage it and whatnot.
Watch this. Bam.
There we go. Nice.
Dicks out for Hermit, guys.
Yeah.
Look at that.
It's too sexy, man. That's awesome.
I heard, by the way, that box wasn't even like in the game a week ago. Like they just added it.
Yeah.
I think you guys
It was
know
just
about the
originally
Dragonfly
just that thing
then,
sitting there.
Hey, I have one of those.
I got a couple of them.
All right.
I just have the one, and I have it in black.
I got the
I really
two that
like the
came
yellow.
with the caterpillar.
After seeing the two of them today, I really like the yellow. I might pick up the yellow one now.
I've got the yellow jacket token because I bought one the day it came out.
Right.
Yeah, for
So
zero
then-
for the crossover.
The
Yep.
freelancer.
It's always an important thing.
Yeah,
If you
so
guys
that-
haven't bought in yet, or you find a ship you want, I always recommend everybody goes through the upgrades and buy all the $0 upgrades when they're available, because you can utilize them to a certain point in time. It'll help you make the switches if you decide to make an adjustment down the road.
Yep.
Saved my butt more than once.
When you're on a planetary surface, you're like a land speeder, so which is pretty.
Yeah, I'm kind of sad it didn't go back on sale individually today.
Be something that happens.
Because I
Well,
would
they
have
said
picked
they,
one
I
up
don't
to-
think they're going to sell the yellow one again, though.
Well, no, I just mean the Dragonfly in general.
Yeah.
Yep.
I wish they would have.
Which
Because, I mean,
reminds me, I have
yeah,
to
the Versa-
recopy my account.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and there's.
Because I bought all these ships, but I haven't recopied my account yet.
Oh, yeah, they won't show up yet.
Chris patiently in the freelancer.
Now, here's something well, you can tell this wasn't staged because of this bug. This was a bug. They weren't expecting this. So.
Yeah, it's a clipping issue. You can see that caused by the different physics grids.
Just kind of bring
Yep.
it in. Here we go.
But the other way you can tell it wasn't staged is by how he's flying up to it, because he is terrified he's going to fuck it up.
Yeah. Well, you also noticed that they didn't. One thing I noted is they didn't demonstrate a deployed or a compact mode. They just left it deployed. So I don't even know if that functionality is in the ship yet. You know what I mean? Because it's supposed to do the conversion. Poof.
No, Toy's got a point. When they get on the planet, the nacelles are farther apart. But that may be because he goes into, I don't know how many of you picked up on this, ground lev mode.
Yeah.
Yep.
So let's lock up the back door.
Yep. They're really wide for ground lev mode, and then narrower for
Flight
space flight, and then
Yeah,
narrower still, like compact for parking.
Yeah, it's definitely in compact mode right now. Otherwise, it wouldn't have fit in there if it wasn't.
Occasionally, when you take a
And it may be something that's toggled like with the landing gear command, like what we have in 2.5 now.
Out to the big global space grid into the local grid of another one.
Yeah, Cyberwolf says he stayed in precision mode. That's what I'm thinking, is that he was still in landing gear precision mode, and that's why it didn't deploy out. Then when he goes on ground, he goes into ground lev mode, it deploys out.
Makes sense.
Yeah, Parrot Math. I saw that he was going too slow for quote space flight. It was kind of killing me when I watched this the first time today, because I'm like, come on, man, get on the gas, let's go, take it out of precision mode.
Yeah, but if he would have done that, he would have slammed into the forward part of the.
Yeah, I just wanted him to do a couple of loopy-loops before he parked it in the freelancer.
Yeah, I was expecting him to do like a flight around the Starfarer at full speed or something too.
Yeah.
Of course, I was not expecting him to park into the back of the freelancer. I didn't think that was going to be possible.
Heads up! Heads up!
Yeah, Luco Rivers has got a good point. First thing we need to do is see how many we can stuff in a freelancer, because probably stack 3 of them in there.
Thank you for the follow. I still haven't found the last of the alerts to turn them off. I've disabled everything I can find. Sorry. Got too many hot buttons. Stop it. Go back.
Yeah, you can at least stack 2 of them on top of each other in that freelancer, and possibly if you push them all the way, you can get a 3rd or 4th in there.
I don't think you can do that though. Wouldn't the one on top damage?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Uh-oh.
It's going back. I hit the wrong buttons. Go back. It's already on it on my screen. It'll take a second to catch up for you.
Okay, let's couple and
There
go
it is.
into ground left mode.
And boom! That's
Yeah.
Yeah.
So quick. Now it starts falling to the ground. Did he land? Is he landing it or is it falling?
Is that?
Yeah, he activated ground lev mode, which automatically brought it down to levitating above the ground. Yeah.
So, and it looks like the top end from Wing and Commander looking looks like about 40 meters a second on it, on the ground. Which is pretty fast. It's like 90 miles an hour.
Go to first person view if you
Yeah, it's plenty fast for exploring the planet's surface and whatnot.
Oh,
And for some
wait
pretty
for it.
sweet
There it
combat.
is.
Yeah, there it pops up. Oh, yeah. That's the good stuff.
Yeah, check out the green gas emissions from the ends of the guns.
I know. Those are M4As.
Yep.
Well, you know,
Or
the other
M3.
thing I noticed, Commander, on this, you know, he's at 40 meters a second there, but notice he's in combat mode, right? There's a cruise mode. I wonder what the land cruise mode would be.
much faster, I'm sure. I'm thinking the land cruise mode is
Right.
probably going to be like 100.
Yeah.
But in general, all the new weapons impacts are pretty sweet, and the new weapon sounds
Yeah.
are pretty
Oh,
sweet.
those M7As. In third person, they sound amazing outside.
Yep.
They're just so sick.
Look at that.
Look at that. That's basically dogfighting on the ground. I'm just going to be
See
all
how
over
it's like
that.
it's
Yeah.
going like that.
So let's head to
Looks
the
so
pirate
good.
base.
Yeah, each of the nacelles are moving independent of each other.
Yep.
But I can already see like the kind of combat you can do with this, where you could go from ground lev mode to immediately flight mode, so you can like do a loop de loop and then come back down to the ground and what I mean, you'd be doing some great combat techniques. Yeah,
I'm
the
stoked
nacelles are
about that
definitely
rover.
wider now.
Digging that rover, man. Look at
I'm
the
really
wheels as
stoked
well.
about that rover. I bought one of those today too, and I can't wait to get behind the wheel of that thing.
It's gonna be pretty.
And if you notice, the turret on top, there's no canopy up there, so that looks like driver controlled guns.
Driver
Automatic.
controlled, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Go first person view.
And look, he can't get through there, so he just persistently just tries to like ram through it. Love
Yeah,
it.
it was what's her name? I think they said her name was Melissa.
Yeah, Melissa.
Yeah, just keep pushing through.
She was driving in, I think the problem was she was driving in third person, so she couldn't judge the perspective right.
Mm-hmm. Are you shooting a pistol at that?
Stasis guy, you'll
With some
see
bullets.
you'll see some explosive devices here in a bit.
Hey, Inner Hype and Luco Rivers, you guys are still talking about the Dragonfly in the back of the Freelancer. What about the Max?
Yeah. Twice as wide.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Twice made dragonflies.
All that smoke coming off of it.
You know.
This is the kind of thing you don't expect to see in an alpha. Is effects like this?
Yeah.
That's something that's put in much later. The polished effects.
See, I would have jumped in the air tank.
There's a lot of bullets. He's running out.
That was so funny. That was one of those unscripted things that went wrong in this presentation.
Mhm.
It ran out. Yeah, here I was really hoping to see some of those. I was just crossing my fingers and praying to God, hoping to see some of those cover and lean mechanics.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess they're still in development.
So, what Cyberwolf? Did they not realize that the sun, that the planet actually rotates around the sun? It's actually in orbit. Is that? I guess people wouldn't expect that because that's not something that happens in most games.
You're out of ammo.
That pop in right there, man, that was brutal.
Yeah.
Boom. LOG.
Chris, you may have to land and help out here.
Yeah, you can tell he thought, hey, he's got that.
Get him! Get him! Get him!
Oh.
Yeah.
And the guy goes like sliding up the stairs. That was awesome.
Well,
Yeah.
Yep.
I guess that's one way to get rid of pirates.
Thumbs up. Good job.
Okay, so let's see
Awesome.
what they were hiding here on their base.
I love
Here we
that.
go.
Gotta get that Big Benny's.
The Big Betty's crate, as he always says. And, all right, let's take...
Okay, so now
again,
Here's the
here's
inner thought
another
system.
example of the inner thought, so let's pick it up. There we go. So...
yeah, that picking up that animation, that it's a canned. It looks like a canned animation to me. And the reason why things jump around is the same reason why you teleport when you try to get into a ship. It has to pre-position the models to engage the animation, not because Grabby Hands was moving something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Gerald Lopez makes a good point. The emotes. How I want to know what. Apparently, they've got like hotkeys for emotes now.
They have to.
Because he was firing them off without typing anything in chat. He was using his.
Well, here's the other question.
His controller, as far as I know.
Yeah, if it was a controller, it'd have one of those wheel scrolls, where you could choose the emote, and we didn't see any of that, so they have to have something mapped.
Let's just put the
Yeah,
box
so
down.
that's what I'm thinking. Is that here soon we might be able to actually map emotes to certain hotkeys, which would be sweet. Because that'd be great for voice attack. Because I can, say.
That way I can just
laugh.
keep hitting my hotkey for rude one all the time.
Hang on, we got an incoming video message.
Yeah.
Check that out.
Flip them off, and it automatically laugh, dance.
There's that glorious Moby Glass HUD again.
Dude, just drop it. He's walking slowly because it's fragile. Thump. Just throws it down the ground. Nax says he was using numpad for emotes, so they do have emotes hotkeyed now.
Nice.
Sweet.
Oh wow.
What do you reckon, guys?
So yeah, that'll be sweet because then I'll be able to program for voice attack.
Ups to daisy.
Yeah, Nax, but did they write custom macros, or was it built? Was it
Looks like we
put
got
into the
double
game
crossed.
that way?
It's got to be put in the, because if it was a custom macro, we would have seen the chat window pop up and it type out the command.
Yep. Well, there we go, guys. Full playthrough.
Oh
Nice.
shit!
There we go.
Was that new the new Vanguard?
Yeah, it's not that big of a threat though. Just 2 vanguards and a saber.
Yeah, you can take them. I mean, you guys are only on the
That
ground.
dragonfly should
exposed.
probably be able to take them out.
There you go. Well, awesome, guys. Good walkthrough on that again. I mean, we saw so many cool things there. Guys, if you haven't had the opportunity to, make sure that, first and foremost, that you are following everybody here. So we're going to go ahead and execute that again now that we know it works. Make sure you're following all the cast members there. In addition to that, we are going to be taking questions. So either please preference them in this little questions link to our Discord, or, you know, even if you want to throw them in chat, we'll try to get them there. It's a little bit easier, more guaranteed. We'll get them inside the list of questions there on Discord, that little chat channel. And then we can have some discussion points. And while we're doing that, I'm going to go ahead and set up the $10 Star Citizen gift card raffle for all the followers. Remember, you do have to follow every single person's channel in here. We will check. And we'll run that for... How much time has you guys got? The next, what, 30 minutes or so? 20 minutes? What are you looking at?
Do it up.
Do it up? Okay.
Good luck, guys.
So, just what I was talking about at the beginning about the way the mission system is eventually going to work, the way they want it to work. In that sequence, we saw basically 3 different parts of the mission, and the way it would be set up in the future, in theory. Now, this could be, they could have changed this by now. We don't know, but the way they wanted to have it set up is that, like, when you got done retrieving the data the first time, him calling you up and saying you could get the cargo was one of the possibilities. Another might just be he calls you up and says, thanks for a job well done. Maybe because your reputation isn't shady enough. Like if you have maybe a more neutral reputation, he suggests you go take the cargo. If you have a bad reputation, maybe he suggests you flat out go and, you know, tells you to go kill the pirates and take the cargo and bring it back to base. And then once you do take the cargo, then again, maybe depending on your reputation, he shows up and tries to steal it from you, or he offers to split the profits, or he says, good job. You know, it could have been any other things that happen afterwards. And that's part of the way they want this all done in the end, is that those kind of missions will evolve naturally, but still be scripted to somewhat, so that they're not 100% the same thing over and over again. And at the same time, they're not just your random, like, Radiant AI quest from Skyrim, where it's, oh, I've lost my sword in this cave for some reason that nobody else has entered in 3,000 years.
Absolutely.
Cecina Savara, thanks for the follow.
Yeah, keep throwing those follows in there, guys, and make sure that you're putting exclamation point hype in chat is the keyword for the $10 gift card. We also will be doing the $50 subscriber card. If you haven't subbed yet and you're considering it, go ahead and throw a sub in there if you can through the link, and we'll get you in on that raffle as well for a $50 Star Citizen gift card tonight. So let's see. What are questions we got here? I have...
Whoa, hold on.
What do you got?
Hold on, I got to say something really quick.
Go for it.
I see some pretty lips in chat there.
Oh boy. It's getting dangerous.
Oh, high trend. I love them pretty lips.
Now that it got really creepy really quick, let's do Cyberwolf's question real quick here. He says,
Pyromancer, thanks.
Yeah, he says, what do you think happened with the Star Marine being a no-show? Pretty much especially with it being listed in the streamer's overlay. That's the first part of the question. What do you guys think about we didn't see any even teaser for Star Marine? I mean, we
did see a teaser.
I guess a little.
Yeah, we did see a teaser.
We saw a mini
That's
teaser,
exactly what it was.
Yeah, the female character there.
It's because 2.6 isn't ready yet. And they said that they would be demoing, when it comes to stuff like that, they would be demoing it based on what was ready at this time. That's why. Yeah. If 2.6 was like in PTU right now, we'd probably be seeing some of it at least.
Yeah.
But
I'd also stretch that even further. Oh, go ahead, Moon. Go ahead, man.
Well, I think we were all hoping to see like a little bit of it, but I mean, they showed us like a few like stills and stuff like that. We've seen a few things over like the last couple of weeks of like things that they want to show us. But I mean, this big release of 3.0 kind of was like the lion's share of stuff that they wanted to show us and really impress us. So maybe showing us just the little bit of Star Marine that they did is kind of like good enough. Yeah, I'm okay with it.
Yep.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Well, yeah, okay. I kind of want to enjoy a little bit of the surprise factor when it comes to Star Marine. I'm hoping that we're going to see the mechanics that we're expecting to see, which is cover and leaning and things of that nature. But I want to be surprised with oh my God, there's these extra guns, and oh my God, I don't know if you guys are paying really close attention or not, but in the gun store at Grimhacks, there's 6 different types of grenades in the case, and there's claymores laying around, and so. If we just get a cover system and the leaning peeking system for combat, and then access to all those weapons, I'm good. I don't need to see any more demos.
Yep.
And Cyberwolf's next question, if I don't know if you can pull up that shot, Mitauchi. That's actually a good question, and I was wondering that myself.
On the female character?
Yeah, if that was a female character or not. I couldn't tell if that was a female or just kind of an androgynous character.
It looked like it. Let me see if I can work on that while we're...
Yeah.
Which character are we talking
about? The Star Marine character. It looked like it was a female character in there, but there wasn't enough of him or her to see to be certain. It could have just been.
They were just very pretty eyes.
Yeah, I mean, it could have just been they modeled him after Trin. That's all. I don't know. Because that is a hard distinction to make sometimes.
Girl, you got a pretty mouth.
That's right.
They're reworking the male character now as well.
Yeah, they did.
Do you
they
think
did show some of that?
That will be a release on itself? Like instead of making like release like here's a female. Like how about male and female at the same time? Both updated to it. I wonder if that's going to be the deal.
I can see that.
Just really quickly, Night Owl, the reason they did that is because when you have major gameplay changes, additions, and whatnot, you usually consider that a separate build from the previous one instead of an iterative build. So instead of it being 2.7, it's now 3.0 because it's a major leap forward from what the 2 series is.
Yeah.
I am a badass dwarf from WoW. What do you mean, Kyle?
There you go.
Just life. Don't pour Trin. He's beautiful.
Hey, Mr. Lynch and the Amazing Snyderman 07, guys. Thanks for the follows.
There you go. Well, I am searching here for that. Says Chop Suey, he says, I've asked Moonshiners and Shepard this before. What do you guys think of the whole shooting through windows when the shields are down? It seems like ships with a lot of windows makes it a huge disadvantage.
The windows are not made out of glass. They are made out of a supposedly bulletproof / impact resistant sapphire, synthetic sapphire crystal. So
it's transparent aluminum.
Yeah, transparent aluminum.
Think about transparent. I was thinking that when he started to ask the question from Star Trek. That think about the face of a very expensive watch. Those are crystal sapphire, and they're actually bullet resistant.
Yeah,
if they're thick enough, they're bullet resistant. So it's that. It's not glass.
Shadow Spear asks, what did you guys think? Yeah, we talked about this. What did you guys think about the one-liner about making your own base planet side? Wasn't that just a freaking mind-blowing little slip of the out there? Like, oh, and by the way, we're going to let you buy some land and build a house down there if you want. What?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I can't wait to see what big orgs will do with that. Like, you guys, I'm sure those of you that are familiar with Test Squadron and Test Gaming, you're already picturing in your head the shanty town that will be Test's capital city. It's going to look like basically what would happen if Woodstock went on for 100 years.
Yep, 3.0, Firefly confirmed.
I'm thinking like a North Korean type city with our glorious leader Montoya. All praise his name.
Yep. Hoarding all the alcohol and leaving us with none.
Hoarding all the alcohol.
I think what would result would just be really tall, stacked up auroras that form freight
just
containers.
Connect them together.
Yeah, connect them together and make like housing for all of Test.
The Aurora Hotel. It's just nothing but Auroras with docking plank.
There you go.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Parrot Math says build with Aurora pillars.
There you go.
I'm
not having good luck finding this. I've scanned all through.
It was such a short sequence.
I
It
know.
was right
I
after
know. I'm missing it.
Point. So when he talked about 2.5, it was just like
between 10 minutes and 15 minutes. I know that. I'm looking at it. See,
if I find Preston Garvey, I'm killing him.
There you go. Cato asks, he says, do you guys think all those features Chris talked about today will be in 3.0, or do you think that was representative of like 3.0, 3.1, 3.2, etc.? So what do you guys think?
I think it's planned for 3.0, but we know how plans work in this.
Yeah.
It's I think what we can expect to, or what we can guarantee to see in 3.0, what they definitely want in there is the full system, the ability to jump between planets. Everything else, I think, is if it works at time of release, it'll be in there. If they can't get it to work, they'll iterate it in, just like they did with features from 2.3 and 2.4 and 2.5. So.
Right on. Chop Suey asks, what would you guys want to want construction capabilities by the player in the future? So, what would you guys want construction capabilities by the player?
What do we build?
I guess so. That's what I took away from it.
You think it'll be like already like pre-planned, pre-built assets,
modular?
Maybe something that's not created by us. Like
I don't see CIG going all Minecraft on us.
Yeah, I think it'll be modular, and you can upgrade it.
Better.
There's a lot of games that do that, and it works really well. And then you could still kind of snap in your assets like you do in your hangars and stuff like that if you wanted to.
Right.
That's what I'm thinking too. Just prefab snap-togethers.
Yeah, you buy it and you pay like a monthly rental fee on the land.
Dalton,
hey,
I know you're excited.
But
we're not talking about Line of Defense today. We're talking about Star Citizen.
Speaking of prefab and hangars and all this other stuff, 3.0. We just watched this Gamescom presentation. Me for like the fourth time today. Super stoked about all the content. Can I finally get access to my freaking cabin in my hangar? I just want to be able to go in my apartment and hang out and see what it looks like.
That's a good question.
It is good.
When do I get to hang out in my quarters in my hangar?
Right.
Because planetary landings is a thing.
I think
I have an Reveiw hangar and a self-land industrial hangar and this hangar and that hangar, and they're talking about 30 or 40 different landing zones and access to the entire system with multiple planets and moons and da-da-da-da-da. Mm-hmm. So the idea is, I hope, that we're not going to spawn at Grim Hex for Olisar necessarily. You're going to spawn at whatever location you happen to be at in your hangar. And the hangar doors will open and you'll fly your ship out and go like that. So am I going to get access to my quarters at that point?
That's always been the idea. The idea is that the hangar system will work much like if you've played Grand Theft Auto Online, the apartments in Grand Theft Auto Online, where you have your own individual hangar, but when you walk out, you're going to walk out into kind of a generic area that other people from that same hangar who have that same planet as their home would walk out of. Mm-hmm. And like Grim Hex is actually a great example, because those hangars on the side they're talking about for landing, those look perfectly like they would be great to be the exit for your asteroid hangar.
Yep.
And I see that being a possibility, is that you would take off in your ship and the asteroid hangar fly up through the open doors, and they would open up and you'd exit out of Grim Hex. That kind of situation.
Valhalla, yes. 40 stations, 30 to 40 stations in the landing platforms. Yeah, landing zones in the station. That's what he said. CR did. Yeah, that looks like a woman to me.
Yep. So let's go ahead and we'll play a little bit of it because the motion. That's I would vote that's definitely a woman.
It looks like an Asian female to me.
There you go. It was just a couple.
Thin frame, narrow shoulders.
See, there's a masculine image there, and when they go to the video, that definitely looks like
the chest plate is a little. I don't know.
When it gets in close, it's just hard to tell. It's like the face. It could be. It's very androgynous, I guess.
Yeah,
looks like a woman.
Yeah, like Interhype says, the nose is much more masculine.
Right. Yeah, the nostril flare makes the nose look a little bit wide, but when you consider everything, the size of her head, the thinness
eyes,
of the neck,
all that,
yeah,
the shoulders are not very broad.
I was gonna say, compared to this first image here, it looks like the male frame, like when it's a still before they played the mini video. To me, this looks masculine. Then when they go in the video,
the eyes and the mouth look a lot like Sandy's. Now that I'm thinking about it.
Now, if you go in. When they start here, because it's like at 16 minutes or so is where they start all this. But when they hit play here, and I'll try to freeze it right at the beginning of the video, if you look at just the silhouette of the arms and everything else, the way the helmet shaped everything, it definitely looks feminine to me.
Yeah.
It definitely does.
Yeah, I mean, I'm saying female model confirmed because we saw female NPCs, so why not have female players?
Well, especially because the way all the men, they make very athletic, broad shoulders, not so, that the posture, the sloping shoulders and stuff just looks like it has just enough feminine quality to it that I definitely vote girl.
This is that Dead Space armor, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is new armor, so I mean, like, I don't know if you could put the Outlaw or the UEE armor on a female character model without having to redesign it. Yep. This is something brand new.
Yeah,
it does look, slimmer. Than guys,
model. We are well aware that female models are being worked on. It's supposed to come out in 2.6. The thing is, the question posed by one of the viewers and the one that we're discussing is this in fact a female model from Star Marine? I think we're all agreeing it probably is.
Yeah.
We're not arguing whether or not they're going to be putting female models in. You guys seem it amazes me how you guys start different arguments based on what we're talking about.
Exactly. And the reason this is even relevant is because it gives us a better idea on when we may see the female model, and that may be in Star Marine. This is a little hint to it. Yep. So it could be coming closer than a lot of us think.
Yeah, I wanna prop a question to your chat here, Mitauchi.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to CitizenCon, drop an 07 in chat. If you're going to CitizenCon, drop an 07 in chat. And we don't need to wait for the response. I mean, we'll just see how it times out. Okay. I'll watch chat, but.
All right, guys. Still $10 card still up. We got about 15 minutes left in the raffle, guys. Everybody who's a follower of all 4 channels can enter. All you have to do is type !hype in chat, and you will be entered into this raffle. So be sure to do that, guys. $10. Star Citizen. Make it happen, Captain.
Do it.
What's our next question?
Next question down here I have was, what do you guys think is a realistic 3.0 release date for us?
End of the year, like you said.
Before December 16th? Like you said.
Yeah, he was like not December 19th or 16th or whatever. He was definitely hoping it would happen before then, but he wasn't ruling it out. So I would say by December.
Last year, 2 weeks before 2.0 went into PTU, I was convinced we weren't going to see it by the end of the year because just how long it was taking, all the problems they were running into. And granted, 2.0 spent 4 or 6 weeks in PTU because it was so buggy and broken. But they were able to pull that one off, and really 2.0 was a bigger leap forward technology-wise than what 3.0 is going to be. 3.0 is more of a content than technology leap in terms of I'm not trying to diminish the technology in it, but in terms of just scale and scope of it, it's more about the content and then the tech inside. So I think they can pull it off. But that comes with a caveat that we might not see all the features at once.
Absolutely. I'll go one more time on this character model too. I know there's still a little debate back and forth. Look at the chest plate here on what I am assuming is the male model. See how it slopes, see how it's parted from the side. It looks more of an X type, like Halo type setup for my mind across the chest, where it has a definite V for the male type thing. And then if you go right about, I think it's right about there. Oh, it's a little bit back than that. God dang it. I can't hit it right. It's like a few seconds here. We'll forward a couple frames. All right, and then you look at this chest plate. To me, it doesn't have that slope anymore. It has a lot more curvature to the chest plate and stuff like that with the glowy lights and stuff. And I know it's occluded in one versus the other. I still say this is female based on the helmet shape.
I agree with Pyromancer, though. It's the same face in both of them. Pyromancer makes a good point. I agree with him. It is the same face in both of them. That's why I wasn't sure at first. Because it is the same face.
I don't think so.
Well, it's definitely the same nose. There's no doubt about the nose.
Well, the nose ridgeline looks very similar in both. I will give you that. It's the eyebrows that are throwing me. Eyebrows and the eyes from one and the other.
Yeah, because from that position, it looks like the forehead is more protruded, like a male skull.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go to the next one, and it looks more feminine. It's more.
It could just be camera angles. It could boil down to that. But there's something about the helmet and the plate looks different to me.
It could be lighting.
Feminine lighting versus masculine lighting.
That's right.
Not enough contouring of the nose.
All right, we'll get off
She
the model
didn't get her
thing.
makeup did.
But it is the same face in both of them. I'm pretty certain of it. I agree with most of the chat seems to be saying the same thing. Yeah.
Let's see here. So, what was the next question? That was 3. Okay, so a question from Kato. It says, with these ever-changing builds being put in the PTU or PU, are you worried that the build for Squadron 42 will fall behind technology-wise?
No, it's the vice versa. Squadron 42 technology is being put into the PU. That's exactly what he said at the beginning of the stream, is that because of the advancements we've made in Squadron 42, we can show you this stuff.
Well, and they don't need a lot of the tech in Squadron 42, right? That's another thing you said previously.
Right.
You know, it's like we're getting some of these flight-ready ships because of Squadron 42. We're getting some of these elements because of Squadron 42. But a lot of the things and the main hiccups of the networking is irrelevant for Squadron 42. So they can make much faster advances.
Yeah, like we're getting this new Hornet in Squadron 42. You're not going to get that old Hornet.
Yep.
Because it's just going to be
the Vanguard
a waste of CPUs.
Yep.
The Vanguard.
That Vanguard. This guy asked a question that I want to know.
What's that?
This is how complex do you think the trading of items would be in 3.0, assuming they have trading and item system in?
I think it's going to be very basic. They'll have a set value, and you can sell them at certain places and buy them from certain places.
Yeah.
I think that's probably going to be what we're going to see initially.
Absolutely.
Yep. You think they're going to have a laundry list of assets that can be traded, or just a short amount?
I have a feeling it's going to start out with a small amount.
Yeah. I think it'll get ever expansive, but they'll have iterative adding in this. My main interest is the inventory system. See what that looks like.
Yeah. Well, then again, that's what I was going to say. It might be based on Item 2.0. Item 2.0 might allow them to make things tradable very easily. It might just be simply a flag that they can attach to pretty much any item and make it tradable at that point. So,
Toy Rebin, thanks.
Yep.
I like what Big T9 says. Imagine this is a scanned male face, and now he's watching, and people are saying this is a male or female. I think it's a female. Poor guy sitting at home crying like, I'm a Jew. I'm a Jew.
I'm just saying he's very pretty.
He's very pretty.
That's all we're saying.
That's
very pretty dude.
That's all we're saying. That's all we're really saying. Next one was, what parts of Eve, if you could, or steal or copy to Star Citizen? Ooh.
That's definitely a Mitauchi.
Say that again.
What parts of Eve, as far as Eve Online, I'm sure he's referring to. Chop Suey wants to know. If I could, would I steal or copy for Star Citizen? The zones for the security levels of Eve, I like that, where you have a green zone, which is highly secure, right? Where you have immediate AI response if it's comfortable for new pilots to fly in, and they don't make it to where it locks out your weapon. It's just like basically the police will jump in and blow you the fuck up instantly if you mess with somebody. Whereas the diminishing level of security, you go to different systems, it's less responsive till non-existent. So I like that security zoning system like that, and I think it's comfortable for players to get to. But it also allows you to make a decision, is it worth you losing reputation and dying to take a chance in a high security zone to kill somebody? If you make that
That's kind of the way it was in Freelancer.
Really yeah. A lot of people have adapted that. And I love that aspect of Eve. I just hope if you kill a brand new pilot in a high security zone, it's a stark penalty, So that would remove some of the griefing. You won't do it just for fun if it takes you 2 to 3 weeks to recover out of it. You know what I mean? That's the caveat they'd have to have for that. And I think it works better than, hey, my pistol doesn't work in this area, That's just mine. But it might be unrealistic for me to think that too.
I mean, like hopefully, different reputations get you better prices for trading and all that kind of stuff like that. Yep. If everyone buys something, it's like, well, how well known are you to us?
I'm okay with the system we have right now with the green zones where it shuts down weapons, as long as in the future there is the ability to get around that, to hack your way around that. Because the assumption is that it's telling your computer to not let you shoot, I guess. So there's got to be a way to block that signal. Of course, that makes you even more of a criminal. Just by doing that alone, you've broken a law. If you get caught not, security's going to come after you. Yeah. I'd be okay with that.
They've said they want to do that. They want to take the invisible hand of God off of people. Yeah. I mean, it will be one thing to always protect the newbie zones, but later on, once the verse is a verse and not just Port Olisar, might be okay to always protect Port Olisar. But later on, when you have like newbie zones have to be protected. Yep. Like you said, you go off to like less and less protected places or something like that.
My idea about removing the invisible hand of God, as it were, is go ahead and leave the armistice zones in place, but melee combat is able to be done anywhere. You can kill somebody with your bare hands.
But what about the
no lightsabers? Well, I mean, it's murder. If you do it inside of an armistice zone, it's still murder. You're still, and in my opinion, in an armistice zone, if you commit murder, I mean, right away, crime stat 5, boom, public enemy, get him. Yeah, and the AI security response should be severe.
Mm-hmm. My thing is, I think the AI security should be severe. I think it should be in a noob zone. No matter what, it's going to lead to instant death. But the big flaw with it, with EVE Online, is the fact it's grindy to recover, but it's not impossible. You could do it in a matter of a day or two to grind back for doing that. And I think, while some people say, oh yeah, that's a pretty stiff penalty, I don't think so. I think if you made the choice to draw down on somebody and kill them, a brand new player, potentially making them not want to play the game anymore in a green zone, I think it should take you at least a week or two to recover fully from it. I think you need that kind of thing. And when people think I'm being too harsh from it, I'm like, otherwise people find ways to buy their way back. They'll find little glitches. They'll do all that stuff because money's not a good penalty at all.
And for those of you that might be thinking he's being too harsh, bear this in mind. This is coming from a guy who plans on breaking the law.
Absolutely.
So he wants to know that there is that risk versus reward. And I agree with that. Same thing. Yeah. I love that idea. Just like I love the idea that if I want to play it safe, I got to work at it. I'm gonna have to fly longer routes to stay away from the pirates. I'm going to have to spend money to hire escorts and whatnot.
If somebody wanted to pay me to kill Eric, and I know it's going to take me 2 weeks to grind back, it's going to be such an unreasonable amount of money for them to pay me that more than likely they aren't going to contract me to do it. You know what I mean? It's going to be that, and that provides that immersion still to where it's like, all right, I'll give you it's like, $1 million's not enough. That's 2 weeks of my gameplay, man. I mean, really, it's going to have to be like something really there.
But they also very much want you to do piratey stuff. Pirate is not a bad word. Criminal is not a bad word. Griefing is wrong.
Exactly. But what we're talking about is borderline griefing, right? It could be a borderline assassination, but anything that you could do legitimately, you also have to look at it, even from my perspective, that I'm going to participate in that type of stuff. It could be flipped into griefing for non-profitable gain, non-immersion stuff, and you want to make it a stiff enough penalty to where that helps regulate that. So that way it's a player choice to make it immersive and potentially kind of fun and risky, but at the same time, it lets you not have a guy who's like, I don't care, I'll just keep doing it, and you don't want him to do that either. So
as digital design, the way it's explained right now, the way it works is that everything in the Star Citizen universe is computer controlled, and that includes your weapons. Your weapons have computers in them. That's your hand weapons, your personal weapons as well. And simply put, the computer on the station or in the green zone shuts down your weapons when you're there. And that's why I said I'm fine with that as long as there is ability to hack around that. It comes with great risk. It comes with great cost. If you get caught doing it, you're automatically a criminal. There's no, even if you don't do anything with it. But if Mitauchi's walking around in Olisar with a hacked AR that he could fire, he's going to get treated by the security just as badly as if he'd actually fired it. That's the idea behind that. And that's what I'm hoping we'll have eventually. And it sounds like they've said from the start that they want just about every system that's in there to be there to be a built-in workaround for it, should you want to put that kind of effort into it.
Yep. So, yeah, and I like your layering of the hackable, because that eliminates the excuse, I accidentally shot somebody, right? I mean, you had to work to make that happen. It's not, I just shot the guy, so I shouldn't be penalized so badly, and all that stuff. All right, we just got a few minutes left here in the raffle, guys. If you haven't entered it, again, it's ! Hype in chat. We got about 2 minutes 30 seconds left on that. So that there's other parts of Eve, but we're not going to go into all that because there's a lot of things I do like about the game that I'd like to see here. But we'll do that a whole nother show on that. Question: after the presentation today, how do you feel about the release date for Squadron 42? Do you think it's coming this year next? Coming this year next. I read it right. Okay. That was from Mayonnaise. What do you guys think? You think we're still seeing Squadron 42 on target date? You think it's pushed out? What your guy opinion on Squadron 42?
After what we saw today in that presentation, with those assets, that lighting, that smoothness, all of that, I think they're on track.
Yeah.
I'm still sticking.
It built my confidence up for sure.
I'm still sticking with my prediction of being pushed back to first quarter of 2017. But I would expect it to be released by the end of the first quarter of 2017.
Yep. We'll find out in 4 weeks for sure. But I think it'll be released this year, or they'll at least announce the release date at CitizenCon, and I think they're on target to do it this year. If not, they'll say holiday season. It'll be like the first week of next or second week of next. I don't think they'll go much farther than that, because if they're releasing assets from it, you have all those elements in there and all that stuff. So,
right.
Bordering, because you got to consider everything's getting pushed on patches on the live, but there's no pushback on Squadron 42. There's nothing.
Well, I'm just thinking of it. I'm just trying to think about it from a marketing standpoint, and if they really have all those assets together and they feel very confident about their product, then 3.0 will drop sometime around Thanksgiving, and shortly thereafter they'll do like a Christmas release of Squadron 42.
Yeah,
take advantage of the Christmas season to sell the game.
That's why I think they're going to come out CitizenCon, and I've been saying it for the last 6 months. They're going to come out CitizenCon, and they're going to say Squadron 42 this holiday season will be the thing. They won't give you a specific date, but they'll say this holiday season. They'll release it late December is what they'll do. That's my
just really want a snowball gun for Christmas. Yeah. Mitauchi knows how much I feel about snowball guns and Christmas
yeah, so as long as we get like
themed,
holiday themed stuff,
game.
We'll be out in space shooting snowballs. Motherfucker, I hate that shit.
Sorry.
It's all good.
Hey, I got a question for you. Speaking of the bridge between Squadron 42 and Star Citizen, if Squadron 42 is going to drop later this year, do you anticipate that we're going to get a massive influx of ships very soon thereafter in Star Citizen? Are we going to start
shifting development?
And the Karak and the Crucible and the Endeavor?
That is what's been holding back.
I got to hear one more person cry about their damn BMM.
The BMM is just a myth. It's just a myth. These people need to get over it and realize that
it's on a whiteboard.
That's the real vaporware.
They're building it. Once they're done with the
BMM is the real vaporware right there.
They work on that. I'm cool with it. But
I predict you will see an influx of ships, but I think they're going to start doing these ready-to-fly ships, like what they're announcing here. Herald, this variant of the event, like Vanguard, all this stuff. I think the big announcement when Squadron 42 comes out is maybe a release of packages with the November stuff of, I don't know, maybe they'll announce the date. Following Squadron 42, we'll have a flyable Idrises. I can see it.
And the next far-reaching goal will be the Javelin.
Yes. The Idris they've had so long, I can see it.
Can I just read this one? This one is in chat.
Go for it.
Your opinion on the new Vanguard dropship. No new info on the Redeemer progress. Redeemer's been canceled, guys. It got swapped over to the Vanguard dropship. So just trade on in.
You're gonna get your home firebombed, dude.
No.
I know.
No, we talked about this earlier. Actually,
this my Redeemer's been ready for 2 years.
My
Redeemer. They recently said that the Redeemer was going to get a massive makeover. Right. That is our most recent news about the Redeemer.
2 years ago, they said that.
Yeah. My opinion on this,
recently, right?
I've never liked the Redeemer. I don't like the design of it, and I honestly don't care if we ever see that ship in game. I think there were so many other ships.
Flatiron engines.
There were so many other ships in the Next Great Starship that I thought were much better. And the Redeemer is such a generic design. It's
now that's something like I have to respectfully disagree with right there.
Remove those nacelles,
it's
and it looks like
not
every other dropship.
It's definitely not a generic looking ship. Having said that, there were other ships that I would have rather have seen. I like 5 seconds or less. 5 seconds or less. Mitauchi, the next great starship. If not the Redeemer, what? 4.
I would do the Redeemer. That's what I bought.
2. Moonshiner, 5 seconds or less. Next great starship. If not the Redeemer, what?
Bono Merchantman. No.
3.
I don't know if Moonshiners was around for the next great starship.
1.
I was here, man. I bought that when that came out, man.
Oh, okay.
I had a Redeemer. I have a Redeemer package on buyback. Maybe one day I'll do a Redeemer.
I can't remember what. I want to say it was the Boom Slang was the one that I really liked out of that.
That was
trying to remember.
That was the Drake. Mine was the Anvil Scimitar.
I like the Scimitar too.
Scimitar's cool.
That thing was awesome. Huge guns but I think that they probably passed it over because they thought it was a little too OP.
Yeah. I don't know. The Redeemer I think needs a rework. Definitely. I like the shape of it. I wish they'd just tub it out, make it a true drop ship, and still keep some of the form to it because I think it's really cool. All right, so we're going to do one more question. We're going to draw the raffle. We're going to let everybody go that wants to. I am going to come right back on streaming regular so we can do the subscriber drawing, and anybody's welcome to stay wants to do that, but we know we got guys that need to go and do their thing and all that stuff, so let's do one more question here. Let's see what we got. I'm having a discussion with the friends about the placement of the Terrapin. I'm curious to know what you guys would use it for. This is a great question.
Dropship.
Yeah, well, let's have Shepard answer. He just bought it, so let's get his vision first on the Terrapin. What would you use it for?
That's the great thing I think about the Terrapin. I mean, we don't have solid numbers yet on cargo capacity and things of that nature for it, but looking at it and speculating based on the images that we have available to us right now, it is exactly what they described it to be. It is a multi-role. It's a utility ship, right?
Multi-purpose tool.
Yep.
It was designed to be a long-range reconnaissance, exploration-driven ship, but you can swap out a couple components, and now it's a mining ship, or swap out a couple components, and now it's a tank in space. So, me personally, it'll be it's going to be my armored car, is what it's going to be.
Yeah, in military parlance.
It's going to be my size 5 gun on top, 2 size 2s in the front, armor and shields galore, and whatever I put in that ship stays in that ship.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was going to say, if you look at it compared to, like, when people like to compare the ships to things we have today, it's a Bradley or a Stryker, when it comes to our military. It's a multi-role armored personnel carrier, basically.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I'd liken it to a Stryker for sure.
Moon, what would you use it for, Moon?
Well, again, it's for everything. I mean, have you guys looked on it? I mean, I don't know if it has that many weapons on it, but if you pull it up on the Hollow viewer, right?
Mm-hmm.
One size 5, 2 size 2s.
Where does it say that?
One size 5 and 2 size 2s in the brochure.
If you get
on the stats page, it just says the size 5.
I just see the size 5.
The turret on top that is the radar dish can be replaced with a size 5. And it has 2 size 2s in front.
If you go up on the Hollow viewer, you get like right up on it. There's actually like all this like mechanical shit going on that front gun. I wonder if that swaps around. I really do, because there if like you look up in it, there's like another device up there. It's kind of like hidden up there. Again, it's not like super flushed out. It's a Hollow viewer. It's not as good of a Hollow viewer.
Inside.
Mm-hmm. There's a whole bunch of stuff going up in there.
Not to keep Shepard forever, but let just go into the wind cap view. This is the technical overview for the Terrapin, what we have here. And what I see under the propulsion overview, I see where it says size 2 stuff. On the hard points overview, I only see the one unmanned turret of a size 5.
Which I think is what's on the nose.
Yeah. And
unmanned turret.
Yeah, and then I see the shield, which is a size 2, which we've discussed sounds kind of odd considering the amount of tank that Chris said it was going to have. And then it says no hard points for additional equipment. So
exact
I don't know that it has additional weaponry beyond the size 5, but the size 5 alone is something to be reckoned with.
To be clear, if you look at that size 5, it's got 2 guns on it. That is not a joke to mess around with. It's center line forward facing. So that thing is going to, if you get in the sights of that Terrapin, you're going to have a bad day.
And it's got a massive tank, so it really doesn't need more than one gun, because you got to consider this is a single gun is larger size than what is on a Starfarer, right?
Yeah.
So, and it's got the tank to back it up. So smaller profile, very sleek profile, not a huge target, big ass fucking gun. It's a BFG ship to me.
That's not a turret CS digital design. What's in the center there is the AWACS dome, the sensor package.
Yeah.
Hey, Mitauchi.
It's a smaller scale dome of what's on the.
You want to grab the link I just sent you?
Yes, I will. Where did you send it at?
It's a whisper.
Oh, in Twitch?
Yep, yeah, it's in your chat. I sent you a whisper.
Got it. Pulling it up now.
That's the center. That's the sensor zone. CS. There's 2 people for the 2 manned crew for this. The pilot and the scanner. That's the scanner back there in the back.
Right there, the third paragraph under roles and whatever.
Okay, let me pull down here under roles.
Yeah.
Third paragraph says,
while most famed for that one.
Yep.
Yeah, just the third paragraph.
For its exploits, discovering new worlds, rescuing soldiers under fire, the Terrapin is also a fighting ship. The extensive armor combined with the size 5 remote turret mount in the nose has given it a reputation as a flying tank. Additional size 2 laser cannons are also fully configurable. The Terrapin does not usually mount expendable weapons, ballistics, or large missiles because it is designed to remain self-sufficient without resupply for extended periods of time. So yeah, it says additional size 2 laser cannons.
You know what? Just to play devil's advocate on that, if we go with the sizing system that they've explained a while back, that would make perfect sense.
You're going to say 2 size 2s for a size 5 turret?
Yes, exactly. A size 5 fixed or 2 size 2s gimbaled, because you'd have to put the
twin link.
A twin link turret. That's what I'm thinking is what they're saying.
Up on top
there.
Instead of the radar package.
No, I think down at the bottom where that if you see down at the bottom, like Moonshiner was pointing out, that gun lowers down, and so it should be able to move and whatnot. So what's on top there? It's the radar.
Yeah, the
dome.
radar package.
Now I would assume that we're going to be able to remove that radar dome for something else eventually, because if you don't want to use a scanner version, why would you want that thing? I would use
this for a scout ship.
I'm going to read this from page 14 of the brochure. Under defense, it says the Terrapin's combination of cutting-edge reinforced plating and robust shield generator offer maximum protection against a variety of hostile elements. Although the Terrapin is constructed for defensive considerations, it also offers a nose-mounted turret with a pair of size 2 weapons that can be remotely operated by the pilot to serve as a main armament. So it looks like the 2 size 2s go in the front, and then we still have a size 5 turret on top, and you can put a scanning pod on it, or you can put a turret on it, or you can put a size 5 fixed gun on it. I mean, we have to see how they work that out in the port mod system, but
that could be you're right.
That's how I came to my conclusion.
Yeah,
and that's what I'm saying is obviously if you're not going to have a tracker variation of it, there's no reason to have a scan pod up there. So that could be a turret swap out up there.
Yep, makes sense.
So if it's a fixed size 5 on top and 2 size 2s in the front, with 3 layers of ablative armor and an oversized shield generator and an OC power generator, it's a tank.
Yeah.
However,
it'll probably fly like a tank, but it's a tank.
Yeah.
Based on what we know about the sizing system, I'm more inclined to right now stick with the idea that it's what they mean is you could either have a single size 5 or a twin link size 2s on there, because that is how the sizing system works. I do like the idea of being able to swap out that scanner for something else, because like I said, I probably wouldn't be using that thing if I had it.
So do I, because honestly, I'd love to be able to use the ship in both roles. Have it with a fixed size 5 on top for my armored car, and then bring it back to the hangar, remove the big gun, leave the 2 size 2s on the nose, and put the scan pod there and send it out for long range recon.
Yeah, see, that's what I would use this for, is long-range recon in a known hostile environment, something where you're going to take some hits, but you need to find enemy positions. I think that would be great for that, because it could tank it. It'd be good.
But yeah,
Cyberwolf nailed it exactly. AWACS. That's right.
What I want to use it for, if I was to get it, is a drop ship, because I'm looking at that. You could easily fit a squad in there, and it's armored to hell. So you send that squad in there. It's not for combat. You go straight down onto your planet, your target. You slam down as hard as you can because it's armored to hell and back. Drop that ramp. They jump out and you take off, and that's it. You're dead. That's what that ship's for. Maybe it'll provide some close air support after that, but primarily,
it's even better at it than you think, because if you read the brochure, it says that the landing gear on that, the pneumatic systems on it, is extra heavy duty, and it's made to land on uneven terrain under hostile conditions. Yep. So you could do exactly that. Slam it down. Boom.
Real quick, guys, let's give a shout out to Commander Zeman. He just hosted the stream with 26 viewers. We really appreciate it.
You're now showing your whispers on stream, by the way, Mitauchi.
Well, it just has links, so nobody talks dirty to me on Twitch anymore.
I was gonna say, Commander, you're getting Commander Shepard's sext messages right there on stream.
Oh baby, for everybody to see. So again,
yeah, that's the other thing. Captain Jackster makes a good point. That thing would be great for using it for cover and concealment. Because with that much armor, small arms fire is not going to do squat to that thing.
Nope.
Yep. Yeah, make sure to give Commander Z-Man a follow, guys, if you would be so kind. I'd greatly appreciate it. We do try to give love to everybody. It's the greatest community I've ever been a part of in gaming. So let's get it. I know we all want to keep talking. I know I promised the Commander that he'd get out of here, so that way I wouldn't get him in troubles. So let's draw this raffle real quick. Again, we have to confirm that you're a follower of all 4 parties in here real quick. Sweet nothings, look at that. It's popping up now. Hey, stop that. Don't do that to me.
Wife's right here.
Not
my
here.
shit, man.
Come on, guys. After the show. All right, we're going to draw this thing, guys. Good luck, everybody who entered. Remember, if you hang out after the show, I'll invite anybody who wants to stay still. And we'll be discussing some more with the after show. And we'll be doing the subscriber raffle for a $50 gift card. So we'll just have a brief break between them. So let's draw this thing in 3, 2, 1. Peeling a 51, you win the $10 Star Citizen gift card. Check everybody and see if you have peeling a 51 or piling, depending on how you pronunciate that. It's up to you.
I'm sad to report that I know he does follow me. So damn it.
Well, that automatically removes you. No, I'm just kidding. Moon,
yeah.
Do you have him in yours too?
Let's say peeling it.
Yeah.
How do you spell it?
Pilinga 51.
Can you search? Can you find him? Oh, well, hold on. I can just click on his name.
Oh,
right?
I don't. It depends on your bot. I don't know.
Can we get another pimpings of our names?
Yes, absolutely.
And, make sure everybody gets out there.
Oh, absolutely.
Because if you haven't followed, then what are you doing?
Well,
what are you doing?
I don't see him in my my dashboard.
I'm looking up his follower list. I see him. He just got me. He just got me. He just got Mitauchi. He just got Z-Man. He just got Shepard. And
does he have me on there? He's followed me in the past. So if he's not following me right now, it's by accident.
All right, I'm just making sure because it's like I trust you guys. So
wait, stop.
Let us get a good final pimpings.
Automatically disqualified. He follows Captain Richard. That should be an automatic disqualification.
Well, there you go.
We don't want anybody that would associate with Captain Richard to win anything on this stream.
No doubt, no doubt. Well, Peeling, make sure you send me a Twitch message with your RSI information so we can get that over to you, brother, and we'll make it happen. Again, thank you guys so much for being here, everybody in the chat. Commander, Eric, Moon, we love having you on the show. We look forward to having you every time you have the opportunity to be on. And, with that, guys, again, we're going to take a brief break, and then I'm going to come right back on. We're going to keep discussing some of this, and we're going to check out the new PTU build. So we'll be looking at some of that cool stuff. So we'll be off the air just briefly, and we'll come right back. So we'll see you here in a couple minutes. Again, thank you for watching the Space Bro Show. We'll see you next week at 10:30 p.m. CST. Peace out.
See you guys.
Laters. Follow me on Twitch.
Keep hitting the follow button for everybody.
Love me.
Love me too. Follow.
Acknowledge me. Give me your love.
Got it. All right, guys. I gotta take a bio. I'll be back.
Yeah, I'm logging out. I'll see you guys later.
See you guys later.
All right, guys. I'll see you later.